I hope I'm not gonna forget to do the intro when I actually have a full face on. So, or should I do it now? Hi there and welcome back to this YouTube channel. My name is Julia, and in today's clip we are actually gonna review an exciting palette, at least from my perspective. It's the new Neutrals palette from revolutionpro. Actually the romance palette, not the new Neutrals. I actually have a video clip on that one already on my YouTube channel. So I'm very excited myself to test this one out, because to be completely honest, when it comes to their new Neutrals range, because they have loads of kind of like versions of, in this kind of like scenario where literally like the packaging is identical, obviously the shades are different. That one was the only one that actually got my attention, the new Neutrals, the classic one, that I think that's why they started doing more, because I'm pretty sure that's the most popular one. Yeah, this was the only one that actually catch my attention. I really loved the shades in it. Like, it is like more purpley, but at the same time it's very warm toned, and at the same time two of the shades are duochromatic. This one, it seems duochromatic, I didn't test it out. And also again, two glitters into it, and I like having pressed glitter in my palettes for some reason. I love glitter, alright? So yeah, without me rambling anymore, let's just jump into this palette. Also, I'm always doing all of the swatches at the end of the clip, but because I do understand some people just are interested only in the swatches, although that's a bit wrong. You should check out how the shadows perform on the eyes. I'll leave the minutes when the swatches are starting, because I'm that lovely. I got you a bit closer, and this palette retails now for £15. When I bought myself the classic new Neutrals, like the actual first one that actually I'm pretty sure it doesn't have any title whatsoever, it's just named new Neutrals, it was £12. At the same time, I am aware that the value of the pound is kind of like going down, because I'm Romanian and I pretty much always check like the currency, if that makes sense. So over the years it went down because of Brexit and all that jazz. I've noticed that some brands are upping their pricing with like £2 or £3, something like that, around that kind of like value, and I do understand it. That's the full price. I checked, all of them are £15. So this is how the packaging looks like. Now they put it they put here the shades. I think this is interesting because they don't have the shades on the back, so you can pretty much see what's inside the box if they don't have testers into the shops in themselves. It has a very stunning mirror. It's a big one. I really like it. I appreciate in a palette a mirror, because I just do. So I'm priming my eyes with the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer. I always prime my eyes with this concealer. So because today I'm actually going out visiting some friends. Pubs are opening today actually, so I don't know, but I'm not going to a pub. I'm not gonna do two different eyes. That's the usual kind of like jazz with me when it comes to testing out eyeshadow palettes. I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry to disappoint you. It has a shade called Dreamy, and I'm actually gonna use this one to set, because why not? I sometimes set my primer. If you don't do that, it's kind of a useless shade, because it's like, it really depends, but on my skin tone it's pretty much useless because it's pretty much my skin tone shade. Right, so I think I'm gonna go a bit colorful today. I'm very drawn to shade Wild, which is an orange, burnt orange shade. So it's a very nice shade. It definitely is pigmented. It's definitely on the more of an orange burnt side, so it's not like pop boom in your face, but it's pigmented. It's nice. It blends out very smoothly. I like how it blended. So the only thing I would say is, you definitely, like I personally always do this, I don't take that much product on the brush. I put a tiny bit, add more, a tiny bit, add more, because if I put too much, I'm scared I'm not gonna be able to blend it out myself. So yeah, I think it's pigmented, but because I take a little bit at a time, it might seem on the camera it's not. So I'm gonna use shade Cherish. It's on the cool tone side, but I still want to try it. So I'm gonna take a more tinier brush. They do have a bit of a kickback That was the same situation with the other one, but I do not mind it really. I really don't. Ooh, that is actually really pigmented. More pigmented than I expected. So that shade, Cherish, is definitely more pigmented than I was expecting. Like, that was a bit of a shocking shade because, I don't know, I was just expecting it to be more chilled down rather than being boom in one go. So I like how they blend out both of them. I did went a bit back in with the shade Wild just to obviously intensify the shade, because when you blend out, obviously the shades are flying a bit away. So I think now I'm gonna go with shade Muse at the end of the eye just to smoke that out a bit. That does have a ton of pigment. Right, so shade Muse is actually very, very nice. It's really dark and pigmented. It is definitely on the warm tone side, and it really definitely complements the shades. Although I use Cherish and it's on the cool tone side, I really like how it looks. I'm gonna use purple, the Passion. I'm gonna use Passion, the purple. Again, a lot of kickback, but I really don't mind it. It definitely has fallout, more than expected. Yeah, it does have a lot of fallout. It's not the best purple I've ever tried. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I feel it looks much lighter, like brighter, not lighter, brighter, that's the word, into the pan, and it doesn't show up on the eyes as such. Like, it's actually quite dark. I'm taking some concealer and a flat brush. Let's see if I'm gonna ruin this. Hopefully not. And then taking again Passion and see if underneath a more tiny bit of tackier, whiter base is gonna show up more pigmentation. Now it shows up as in the pan. Yeah, that's actually stunning. So because it's a dustier kind of formula, I guess it's a pigment. Yeah, it definitely is a pigment. I've noticed with pigments in general that they work out on a tackier base much better, but it's definitely very, it has a lot of fallout. It did stain my nose. Amazing. Right, that shade is quite messy. It's all over my table right now. It's also a teeny tiny bit patchy. I don't know if you can see. Not the best, not the best. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That's not the that's not the best pigment I've ever tried. I mean, you can't tell. If I'm looking straight forward to you, you can't tell it's patchy. However, if I'm doing this, you can definitely see it's patchy. I'm not quite sure if it's my fault of the shade, but it definitely doesn't show up as in the pan if you put it without a tacky base. And that's pretty much, like, I never do my eyes, for example, with pigments without having a tacky base, because it sometimes can happen that, and I'd rather just not risk it. But today I realized that I forgot this is a pigment. So to save a bit the actual patchiness, I'm gonna actually go with some shimmer. So I think I'm gonna go with Obsessed on the middle and then put Desire in the inner part of the eye. And it's definitely a kind of shimmer that you have to wiggle a bit your brush into it if you don't want to use your finger. Yeah, it's the chromatic shade. I knew it! I'm not quite sure. Oh my god, it picks blue. It picks more blue than expected. Oh yes, I'm gonna love this one. So it's not too crazy with a brush, but I'm gonna go with my finger. I mean, it's not impossible to apply it with a brush. It's just a bit more work to do. I don't mind it, for example. It definitely is a really wonderful shimmer. It looks blue. Right, so now I'm gonna jump into shade Desire, and I'm curious if it's gonna be the same situation with it. Now this is much more easier to grab, and it's definitely duochromatic. It has a pink and gold shift to it. Oh, it's much more, wow, that is much more smooth. That's what I was hoping for Obsessed to have. Let's see. I mean, I'm not quite sure if it's the actual Passion shade underneath that it's actually acting up not very nicely with these shimmers. This one, it doesn't stick. It doesn't want to stick. I'm gonna try the trick with the setting spray. No, it doesn't work. We are getting somewhere. Oh yes, we are definitely getting somewhere. It's just, I'm 90% sure it's Passion that is acting weirdly, and it doesn't allow me to pack the shade very nicely because it's so smooth that I find it very hard to believe that this shade is not good, being so smooth and buttery. Because I love duochromatic shades, I'm getting crush on my brush and I'm using a glitter glue. I have no idea why some people say you should not use a glitter glue because they stick on their own. Lies. No, it doesn't work like that. So we are taking some glitter glue. This is from Revolution and it's very cheap and good. That is so weird. Wait, this is actually not like a glitter. I'm confused. Wait, what? Don't get me wrong, the shade is stunning, but what the hell? It's not a glitter. Wait, I'm confused. Very confused. When you look at it in the pan, now because I messed it up, it doesn't show up as like that, but it looked very similar to the one underneath, which I don't know if you can see, like it has very big specks into it. Oh, I showed you tender, sorry, I meant nostalgic. It's just a very stunning shimmer, not pressed glitter. So I love the finish, but the reason why I'm like, what, is because I was not expecting, like I thought it's gonna be chunky glitter, which is not. I think that, I mean, let's see. Yeah, so you only have one chunky glitter into this palette. This is very smooth. I really love, again, it's duochromatic. I was expecting that, and I think it's a very, very nice reflective purpley bluish shade. Right, let's jump into the underneath part. So I'm gonna go and grab shade Precious, since I did not use it, and Tender as well, and I'm gonna place the darker one, yeah, at the outer edge of the eye, and the lighter one obviously in the inner part. Very pigmented shades. It definitely does make, like, they are different. I love Tender. I think it would be very nice on kind of like glowy makeup with that in the crease. I might actually do that because it looks very nice. I'm gonna put some lashes on and I'll be right back with some final thoughts about this palette. So we are closer to swatch this whole palette. I'm gonna swatch every single one, so let's get started. So these are not the nicest swatches I've ever done in my life, but you can pretty much see the shades, and seriously, the shimmers, most of them are so buttery, like literally. The formula of the shimmers, it's much nicer than the one from New Neutrals. It's a bit shocking actually. After swatching it as well, like, I pretty much can say personally, I can tell whether a shade will be alright by not necessarily the swatching itself, but by the feeling of the formula. And the shimmers in this, the majority of them are very buttery. Personally, it does have a very nice payoff. They are very like simple shades to say per se, like the majority of them are like more of your basic kind of like situation. However, you have Crush, which is duochromatic, you have Obsessed, which is duochromatic, you also have Desire, which is duochromatic. Also, Darling, it's a bit duochromatic, like it's very subtle pinkish shift to it, but it's very, very, very subtle, but it's duochromatic. The mattes, they seem to be, you know, nice, at least on my eyes. I actually used all of them. Yeah, I used all of them to be in particular. Passion really turned, like, it's just no. I feel for now I have a negative opinion of Passion, but this is a first impression, bear that in mind. Sometimes I make shades work out after a while or figure out how to use them. So Passion for me did not do the trick for now, but we're gonna use it. I'm gonna use it and update you eventually in the description down below. I usually do that. Personally, for me, this palette, it's more fun than the New Neutrals, the classic one. I feel it does speak to me a lot because I love, for example, to have sometimes when I travel or when I go home to visit my family, I love to have a palette where I have my basic stuff, but I also have something to spice my look up, and having duochromatics into it, it definitely is a very good selling point for myself. I love duochromatics. I'm super obsessed with them. Whenever I find them, I'm like, oh my god, yes. I feel the video doesn't show up the excitement of the duochromatics necessarily, because I was a bit disappointed about the purple shade, and it kind of like made my application a teeny tiny bit harder. I feel the actual look at the end, it looks very nice. I'm very happy with it, and I'm 90% sure passion was the problem underneath all of the work I had to do for especially Desire, which is this shade. So yeah, I feel passion, since it's a pigment that obviously it's more on the affordable side, and it also is a purple. Let's talk about how hard you can, like, purples are to be created. Yeah, I can see why I feel it's gonna be a harder one to work with. I definitely don't regret buying it and having it into my collection. Like I said, I feel I'm definitely gonna prioritize this one when traveling. The New Neutrals. New Neutrals is very nice, but it's very, very on the natural kind of glam side. While this one, it is on the natural kind of glam side, but with a twist sometimes, because you have duochromatics. I love that. Without further ado, I hope this video was by any means useful and relevant to you, and you find it, you found out whether you would purchase this palette for yourself or not. But yeah, I will keep you updated on the purple shade in the description down below. Maybe subscribe. I upload every single week, at least a video, if not more, and I'm consistent. Follow me on Instagram. I post, for example, tutorials over there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope by any means you're gonna enjoy the next clip, and I'll see you around. But yeah, bye bye.